Good morning, garden friends. I hope you are doing excellent this morning. I have some exciting news. Finally, my fencing is going to start today. I've got a couple of young men coming from a fence company, and they're going to do my hog wire here and here instead of this. So I'm really excited. I'll take you along. So for my day 15, woohoo, I'm halfway through. Day 15, I did my watering and did my chores. Tomatoes harvested, did some of those good things, but I'm trying to stay out of their way. They're starting here pretty soon, and I just want to stay out of their way, so I haven't really done anything much. But I do have a garden helper coming later this afternoon, and we're going to do a few things. I'll take you with me. We're going to finally plant the crossvine that I bought. How long have I had them now? At least, it's got to be at least a month now. I feel bad. They've been stuck in these cans. But we're going to go plant them in our, and let me turn the camera around. Whew, it's bright. Okay, so here we are. We're going to plant them right there. But look at, I found, this stuff is the worst. Spurge. That's so satisfying when you get the whole root. Okay, so here's my crossvine. Beautiful tangerine color. Look at that. So pretty. So what we're going to do is, unfortunately, I'm going to take out this ceanothus and my hand is getting in, sorry. This Daphne. I'm taking out the ceanothus because it got pruned into a weird shape by someone who was helping me in the garden, and I just don't want this kind of weird looking thing. I want something more bushy. So I'm going to pull this out and I'll find another ceanothus because I love having them. They're great for the natives. And that Daphne is doing great, but it's not as great as the crossvine will be. So I'll take that out, and then I'll have this nice open space here for the two crossvine and the two trellises I bought. Aren't those gorgeous? These are that Corten steel that I like so much. Heavy duty, super easy to install. They just come with rebar. You just pound it in. So that's the number one job today. Get these planted, get these two bushes taken out. And then I've got a couple other various things. I have my new canterbury bells, which are super thirsty. I'm gonna grab that and give that some water right now. And then in here, we have some work to do. Planting this feather falls to see how I like it, taking out the coral bells, moving some of these hostas, taking out some of these hostas, planting this geranium because I want to see if I want to do a whole row of it, planting these whatchamacallums, ajuga, Burgundy Falls, checking the drip, sorry my shadow, checking the drip on that lamium because it's looking rough. So just a little bit of odd mishmashes here to get done today, but first rescuing this poor guy. Let's give him a little drink. This is the canterbury bells, but they're not canterbury bells, but I call them that because they look like it. But they are a campanula, and the difference is, not beyond the color, the difference is that the bell shapes point down, whereas canterbury bells, the flowers point up. So I already have two canterbury bells over here. I have a dark purple and I have a light purple. So I thought this pink would be super pretty here, planted with it. Just in here somewhere. Look how pretty that is. So we have those things to do. The retooling of this bed. And I think that should do it. So I'll work with my helper to get that done. And then I'll update you. What I'm hoping to get done is, these are Big Daddy hostas, and I'm hoping to move them here where the red flags are on either side of that Empress Woo. I want to take out these frosty curls because they just always look awful. I'm going to take out the coral bells, heuchera. They just have petered out. They're not looking good. And then this is the Geranium Intense that I picked up at Cottage Gardens. And I'm thinking doing a whole, maybe not a whole row, but maybe just in here. Yeah, maybe get rid of that rock and maybe put 4 of them in here and then have them flanked on the other side by the Feather Falls. So maybe I'll move this over here and I'll say I want it to go there. There. And just clean this up. It feels very disjointed. I have some lungwort in here, pulmonaria, that's doing well, but I want to move that so that they're more concentrated. So I have this one. I put it up here a little closer. I have one in the front that's not doing well. It gets too much sun. Same with this one there. I'll just do like a little grouping here. So I'm really trying to like color block because that's what I have done in this bed with the helichrysum. I've done it in this bed with the coral bells, the heuchera here. So I've done it with my lemon coral sedum, my alyssum, right? So I'm just really learning that this color blocking as the border is perfect. It's a nice way of sort of showing off the edge of the garden. I've started doing it over here. I've got my purple royal velvets. So I'll just continue kind of working on that. Oh, look at this butterfly bush living up to its name. Tons of butterflies all over it, including that beauty. Look at that. Look at the pattern on that. I've never seen a, can you see it? Never seen a butterfly with a pattern like that. How beautiful. Maybe I'll try to do a Google image search and see if I can figure out what it is. But yeah, butterfly bush living up to its name. Especially this one. This one's in the sun. I have that one there that's in shade a little bit more. It doesn't impact the performance. Oh, look, he just flew right here next to me. Oh, it still blooms like crazy, even though it gets less sun. But I noticed that the butterflies prefer the one in the sun. But yeah, my garden, I'm just looking, there's a ton of butterflies everywhere. The ones that we just looked at, but there's also these little orange ones. Cool, I love it. All right, so that's what I'm gonna go off and get done. And when I'm finished, I will update you with our progress. Okay, gang, it's the end of the day, and I wanted to update you on what got done today. It's been a really busy, productive day. Look at my hummingbird garden, my hummingbird highway, my orphan garden with my new Corten steel fence panels up there. It just makes this whole area feel like a room now. Some beautiful definition of the garbage cans, orphan garden here, hummingbird highway here, my citrus orchard here, all 4 plants. So then next, as I'll continue to beautify this space, I've shared before that I want to do black rectangular slim against the house planters, like I have my coleus in the back side of the house. So I'll replace these, get a lot of these things out of the pots. So some of these things in my orphan garden will move. I'll reorganize all the pots that are in here. Just so pretty. I can't even tell you how thrilled I am. And they were just the nicest young men. Knocked it out in a day. And then I also have this one over here. I'll remove that stacked tiered planter that's in front. Maybe I'll put some pots at the bottom of it or something, but what I want is for you to be able to see through and see this beautiful zen area that I've created in here. So that stacked planter doesn't really have a a purpose anymore now that the solid fence is gone. Oh, the airflow is just awesome. It just feels lighter without that heavy solid fence there. So I'm thrilled. Yay! Okay, and then my awesome garden helper planted a few things for me. I have my new hellebore in. I have my additional ground orchid in. Oh, look, I have a bloom on one of them. It's not the time for them to be blooming. Look at that. Huh. It was happy in its can, I guess. So I have those planted. I pulled out a Daphne and I put this calla lily in, so fingers crossed that it likes it. But I've started the retooling of this area. So already I can tell I like it better. It's cleaned up. We've pulled out a lot of stuff that just wasn't making it. So now over here, I took the hostas that are out of here, just left the Daphne, added a little bit more ajuga. This is the Burgundy Glow. Pulled out all the coral bells, heuchera that wasn't doing well. Organized the hostas here. So now I've got 1, 2, 3. And then I moved my lungwort. So they're all grouped together. And then we planted this geranium, which I think I'm just gonna do. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do a row of geranium or a row of this feathered falls along the front. Looking at it, I'll probably do the geranium. And then I relocated the sorrel, which is also called Bloody Dock. I grouped them over here, so now I'll probably need to get a 5th one, kind of put in the middle. So that's looking awesome. I planted, well, I didn't, my awesome helper Arturo did. I planted that other campanula, and now I have my crossvine. I got those in the ground. I took out the ceanothus and the big Daphne. That was one of the, I think those are called Daphne odoras. Just too big for the space. So now I can kind of do some other things, but look, my crossvine is in. It's looking a little scraggly because it has been in a can and it's been hot. So, and it was like, you know, folded in half. So I sort of tried to unpeel it. Not easy, but we got it. So those will fill in and look beautiful. And now I have all new planting area here to focus on. I did want to show you this. When they say stuff is invasive, we often think about like sweet woodruff, Japanese anemone, because they yarrow, because they send runners underneath. But what they don't tell you about are these guys. This is a campanula. I got it at what's now called Curious Flora. Used to be called Annie's Annuals. I planted one plant, you guys. 10 years ago. 10. And let me turn the camera on, hang on. 10 years ago, I planted one little plant. And the first like 3 or 4 years, it popped up everywhere. It was in the front yard. It was in the side yard. And I planted it back like where my crossvines were that we just looked at. It was everywhere. It was like mass spreading, and I would pull it out and it would come back and I would pull it out. Okay, I have not let that plant grow or go to seed now for probably 5 years. This year I have pulled out 3 that I knew about, and I just found that one that we're looking at. I just found that one today. And it's flowered, which means it may have gone to seed, which means I will be finding again for the next 5 years. 10 years of this plant. Talk about determination. So when they say things are invasive, there's a lot of different, explanations for what invasive means. I live at the edge of wetlands. So my property over my Santa Cruz sign, that's all wetlands. If this plant escapes into wetlands, it becomes a noxious weed. It's not meant to live out there. There's plenty of water out there. It could easily take over, and that's what you don't want. So, lesson to me is just always be really careful about what you plant, making sure that it's not something that would, reseed itself easily. Like for instance, I don't plant, I could never say this right, the Verbena bonensarius. I don't plant that. I do the meteor showers because it's sterile. Because the bonensarius does the same thing. It spreads everywhere, and I don't want to release stuff into the wetlands that don't belong there. So now that I have this guy, I got to pull him out and keep my eye on making sure that there isn't any more growing. I would feel terrible if I, planted something that ended up, killing out natives, and just, that would not be good. Okay, what a awesome, productive day. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. I feel like I've been waiting for this fence to happen for, I think I first started thinking about it, early spring, and talking to contractors and talking to people about who could do it and the cost and, and all that sort of good stuff. So to have it done and have it beautiful and have exactly what I want, and I just feel really lucky that I get to live in such a beautiful place. So anyway, thanks friends for joining me today, day 15. And we put so much love into our garden. I hope you get a chance to get out and let your garden love you a little bit today. Bye-bye.